set like? You get along with your bandmates?
Not even a little bit.
Not a little bit.
We didn't start yet, right?
Oh, that's the thing.
We have. Okay.
We don't tell you when we start.
Okay,
'Cause
my bad.
We try to sneak one in on you. You know, like you tell all your secrets.
Whoops.
Missä sauna on?
Missä sauna on? Se on Virginia, Minnesotassa. Yeah, you need to come over for sauna night sometime. It's been so hot, I'll probably start it up in the fall again. But
yeah, that definitely sounds like a winter activity.
Well, I think I'm gonna get a little pool so I can do flips into it. Throw a bunch of ice cubes in the pool. Going from hot to cold is good for you.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. You got a lake next to it that you can like jump in right afterwards?
On Second Ave in Virginia. I live right on the main drag.
Oh, okay. You know, like you ever jump in like the snowbank though?
All the
like,
time.
Get that?
Yeah,
okay.
Whenever the snowbank's up going in the wintertime, I shovel it all to one little place and I'll go out there.
That's probably the second best thing.
I think, if you can't have a lake, there's something special about being in town and then diving into a snowbank naked. I don't think any of my neighbors.
Right.
You need to do it at night, turn the yard light off.
It's probably quite the sight.
Yeah. They'd pay to see that. Some people pay for me to leave.
Yeah, I'm sure real estate value around your area is fluctuating.
Yeah, fluctuating. When the Crazy Finn moved in, there's a little bit of crime in that area, they say, but all the criminals, I think, are a little more afraid of that crazy guy with the sauna in his yard. Yeah.
True that.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, I'm so happy that we finally get to do this.
Yes.
I think I reached out to you probably like back in March and April, and we had to deal with some COVID issues.
Had to deal with a couple cancellations. It wasn't my first one, but it's an honor.
Thanks for sticking with us, man.
Yeah,
thanks for finally making this happen. And I think when you were first going to do it, I think we were still doing the shows in Roseville, but I'm like, no, Steve deserves the Mall of America. we need to bring you out here.
I can't wait to walk around a little bit. I love feeling the energy. I grew up on a farm, so just feeling that contrast, that hot and cold, it's mind-boggling, as they say. It's great. It's such a feeling. And I look at groups of people, and it's hard to think when you're an interesting person like both of us are. It's hard to think. Every single person has their own goals and ambitions and life experiences, and I love people. I wish I could meet everybody.
Definitely.
It's kind of neat, especially if you're playing accordion. They all just kind of look like, I'm interested and scared.
your own unique puzzle.
Yeah.
You're saying you don't vibe. You gotta come across some people you don't vibe with though, right? Or how?
Oh, I have plenty of enemies, but the thing is, coming from a rural area, we learn right on that most people, the story they hear first is the one that they think is the truth forever. You kind of have to learn how to live your life, do what you think is best in all situations, and know that most people out there are good. A lot of people aren't, of course, and I've been fortunate to bring out the best in most people. So I try to do the same.
Well, I feel that energy radiating off of you, man. I agree, man. Everyone's their own unique puzzle, but the more as different as people are, the group dynamic can stay the same. I feel like public ostracism is very common, across, not even just the nation. It's just it's a people issue, or a gift and a curse. The gift of communication and talking about other people.
I've never been one to stand out. No, just kidding. I never fit. It's neat because I watched the Andre the Giant documentary, and he could never hide from anyone, So
That's
he
right.
liked going to the farm in a rural area, and if I shut my mouth, I can blend in with blonde people just fine. But I'm a weird-looking guy who does a lot of weird things, so I don't always get the privilege of being able to blend in. So it was neat when I went to Finland, because if I don't talk to anybody and they don't know if I'm from there or the States, but if I talk, then they know that I'm a tourist.
Yeah, they want to talk English with you.
Yeah, and practice.
Like, no, I want to practice my Finnish, and they're like, no, I want to practice my English.
You just have to know enough Finnish to tell them I'm practicing. I'm not going to, but believe it or not, their vocabulary is so good in English. So they go up to you and they say, "I'm flabbergasted at seeing you," and stuff like words. They possess superfluous linguistic
they're
repertoires
better
out
at
there.
us
They
in
really do.
English and probably like 5 other languages that they learned in first grade. And
Sweet, yeah. My bestie out there knows a little bit of Russian, all of Swedish, Finnish, and English. And I think he knows a little German and a bunch of Spanish too. And it's like, dang, I know how to tie my shoes.
America's got to step our game up, man.
Wow.
But you got to go like 50 miles to like east. You're in Russia, and then you go
nobody
west.
expects you to speak another one here. They do when you're a kid there, so who needs it? Yeah.
True that, man. Well, hey, I feel like I'm battling you for some Iron Range notoriousness here. You're a very influential man on the range.
There's no battle. I've been promoting you since I saw the system, man. It's incredible. I hope it'd be an honor to wrestle you someday. I don't know what I'm doing.
I got a couple tag teams. We could definitely use someone to play us out to the ring.
Flying Finns.
You know, people have seen a couple of violin smashes. They've yet to see an accordion smash.
I got a couple extras that are ready to die for the cause.
All right, we'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, food for thought, future time. Future's bright.
Well, talk to me a little bit, because all right, I think the first time I remember, my dad's got some great stories about you when you were younger, by the way. Apparently, you were like when you were back doing basketball when you were little against Ricky or something. My dad had this story about you where apparently you ran into like a wall or something at like a hibbing tournament and like completely knocked yourself out.
I think that was at Chisholm High School. They had a big pillar on the side, and it was like most courts, they're clear. There's a pillar on part of the court. So I think I dove for a loose ball and just friggin' dove into this pillar, and the pillar won. Pillars tend to win, by the way. Or you can't win with a pillar. But I think I just lied there for like 2 seconds and probably did like a handspring up or something. I was pretty famous on the basketball court for my gymnastics. Wasn't any good.
Well, I gotta say, my first memory of you is when I was doing track and field for Virginia.
Yes.
I think I was junior year, and I think I got to meet you at a meet. You're from Mesabi East, and had a sick long jump.
Yeah, they'd have me sing the anthem there. I remember the long jump because coach would always be, "What's your goal for today?" I'm gonna go 7 feet. Your record is like 19 foot 11 inches. Why so low? So I can slaughter my record by 10, 20 feet. Whatever. Not a good feeling. I think my record was 20 feet and 1 inch. I didn't do too bad at that.
You got a way of making a first impression, because I knew your name beyond that. It was just like, it's not just what it was, the amazing long jump, but then you got this deep low voice and just radiating personality. But fill me in, man, because it's been a while. Like you went to a music college, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah, about 2015, I shipped out to New Jersey. I got a scholarship to Rowan University out in Glassboro, New Jersey. It's kind of about Philly.
You wrote a song about him too, I think.
I wrote a couple. Yeah, I made a whole album about New Jersey and my time out there. I always say, when you drive a minute, you age an hour. It's a great place to live. A lot of opportunities. I met so many good people. I lived some of the best years of my life out there, and I can't wait to go back in a heartbeat. And I will as soon as I get some type of excuse.
And that was education all around music? Was it like a degree in something, or like?
Yeah, a vocal performance degree. I played trombone in the pep band. I played accordion all over. I had my own gigs in Philly and Atlantic City and stuff. And I played the piano and accompanied people. And I played the bagpipes at funerals and stuff. I put bread on the table a little bit. I had to pay off the debt.
Was that a general 4-year window of you chilling there? Nice.
I did it in 4 years too. Yeah,
well
not
done.
Many people do, and I just kind of said, I'm gonna have to charm my way out of this because I can't afford a 5th year, bro. No chance. Oh man, good times though. Seeing the country. I recommend every farm boy gets off your community. Get a try. Go see other places. See what it is. Because even if you're not interested in it, people are going to be interested in you.
Pushing the comfort zone.
Yeah,
it's hard to do for some people.
There's no growth in your comfort zone. I think that's an age-old quote, but yeah.
It might seem hard for some. Well, for someone like you, you're so outspoken and things like that.
I'm an opinionated mother trucker.
So on behalf of some people on the Iron Range, why are you the way that you are?
Why
Steve?
am I the way that I am? Well, Some people might blame the concussions and the head trauma.
It wasn't. It was.
Yeah, that's probably the most logical explanation, but I don't know. When I was a kid, I was really humble and quiet and had nothing to offer. And as I got older, I was like, well, I have like a creative side to me that is just sitting there idle. And it wasn't really until ninth grade when a lady pretty much grabbed me by the shirt and said, "You're joining the one-act play because we don't have enough guys." So did the one-act play, and I wrote some songs with the trombone, and my step-granddad gave me an accordion, said, "You should be able to play something you can sing with, because I know you can sing." So, and one thing led to another. I ended up with a free accordion and got a couple paid gigs, and was like, huh, yeah, this is a joke. Now it became my career. My career is a joke, but it's still my career. Comedy first, then music.
So you tell me accordion, was that your first instrument you ever learned?
No, the bass trombone. Well, I started on the trombone, went up to the bass trombone, and played a little bit of piano, and yeah, the accordion picked that up in 10th grade. So the accordion's my breadwinner now, but I play the organ at church and well over 20-some instruments. I know people like that number, but it's more than your body count. Or, I mean, your instrument count is not important. It's about the music you make with those instruments. And, yeah.
Yeah, and just a lot of blowing and fingering and playing and stuff
finger fast,
like.
blow hard. That's the pep band's motto.
Well, speaking of fingering and blowing, there are a lot of people that love music, tune into Prince Music Company, checking out different artists, and they got that spirit inside of them. They want to go out. I do want to ask for someone who went and pursued like voice in college for 4 years, or like the main things you took away with that, and if you went back and did it again for someone going through it, what would be your advice to someone who might be looking at like going in, doing 4 years and working on their voice or doing something in music?
Whenever the topic of college comes up, there's already stress. There's already concern, and I will not lie to you, it was so much harder than I ever thought it would be. I had 3 part-time jobs while I did it, and if I could go back in time, I would, even though I did it, even though I escaped with way less debt than I would, working all those part-time jobs ain't worth it. Limit yourself to 1, maybe 2. If you're gigging, you shouldn't be having a job. Just because like my school always took such a hit, and I was real lucky. I'm a little bit charming, so sometimes when I was in a bad situation, I could talk to the teachers, and and I could I'm starring in the opera this weekend. I don't have time to do your homework. She's like, oh man, when's your opera? Yeah, I'll extend your deadlines. I'm coming to the show. And then
I've been there when I was at the PK. You ever have to finesse a better grade?
I always had great grades.
You always had great grades. Okay, so you don't relate.
Did you? Yeah, I tried my darndest.
That's good, because then you'd have to.
The only time I ever got an A is when the valedictorian said you'll never get an A if you try. Got 1 A and never tried again. Yeah.
All I needed was that C-, and then I made the credit valid, and then I'm on to the next prerequisite.
Yes. It's tough though, and especially if you have to do 19 plus credits in a semester. Like the music program, it's a little discombobulated, and unless you know what you're doing, you can miss, because like we had like German diction, French diction, Italian diction, and it was on a 2-year cycle. So you only get 2 shots to check off all 4 of those requisites. So it was kind of, I think I missed one, and they were like, well, I'm going to have to wait another year. And I said, screw that, independent study me right now. I think, I got in a little bit of trouble at the campus because I was kind of dramatic. One time I made a comment about, well, I studied for like 36 hours for this final. If I don't get a good grade, I might have to burn down the building. That's my sense of humor. The teacher knew that, but I think she was just sick of me staying after and asking questions every day. I don't think she should have been teaching. She didn't do too well with the students. But
gotcha.
Newer stuff.
Definitely. Well, let's loop it back to comedy and music, because I get that in my profession as well, man. It was like, hey, it's clown time, baby. but there's always a delicate balance. You hear it from people where it's just like, I'd love to see you this more serious, or this more of a joke. It's hard to calibrate in music and stuff like that. There's also you can use jokes to uncover new feelings or address something like that.
Comedy is special.
On some instances, you get called out like, hey, why is this always a joke? Can't you just be serious for a minute? How have you dealt with that?
Break up with you because you can't be serious? I didn't. I was found girls who like jokes, but yeah, it's true though. In comedy, contrast is key. So even when I do music, I like to do a funny one and then put it in between two sad ones to make the funny one even funnier. But yeah, it's I think Donald said it best. Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Don't you know everyone wants to laugh? It's true. Laughter is one of those things. If it's in the air, nobody complains. It's not like smoke.
So, you ever tried just stand up?
Yeah, I've done a couple stand-up things when I was at college. I'm a very offensive person, so I like being able to play accordion and say this is a joke. But yeah, I don't want to be one of those comedians that gets chopped up for being offended. I try to be I don't ever try to be offensive, but the sense of humor gets gotten me into trouble sometimes. So now, and you can't really make a living just telling blonde jokes.
True.
But yeah.
And that's your natural hair color?
Yeah. I remember when I was in Jersey, I was telling blonde jokes, and I lost to a guy who was telling fat jokes. He was well over 300 pounds. I was like, I can't compete with that, man. Blonde jokes. I'm a in-shape guy. Nobody wants to hear blonde jokes, but they're the only things that are safe, so yeah.
So when you dipped off to New Jersey, was there ever a thought of, I'm never going back to the Range, or did you always know you were going to eventually move back there?
I always knew. I love New Jersey with all my heart and part of my other organs, but I knew I wasn't destined to live in a city. I'll gladly go in there and do a couple gigs and go home, but I liked being in the smaller towns. Everyone knows you. Right. You can go in anywhere, and I always liked that. But being here at the Mall of America is a weird feeling, because for one of the few times in my life, I can blend into a crowd if I wish.
That's true. I like being around all the people. It's it's bussing. You meet a bunch, and it's so stimulating. I don't know. A lot more to do. A lot more gigs and stuff like that as well.
I would say when you're creative, there's always something to do. I don't ever sit there bored for too long. But yeah, the Iron Range is, I've got a chunk of my heart I will always have there. But I will chase the opportunities when I get, even this year, I got some things lined up. Texas, Arizona, and Jersey, and I think a thing or two in Florida. And it's weird to think that, because even in 10th grade, even senior year, I was like, I'll never go anywhere with music. This is just a joke, playing accordion for fun. I'm sure I'll be in the mines or the military like every other guy that gets bad grades and has no life skills or passion. And it wasn't really until I got like a lead role in a musical where I was like, man, why aren't the other guys doing this? I don't have much competition here. And then I got the accordion and I was like, man, how come all of the other people that play accordion are 80 years old? And at their gigs, they give me their accordion and say, my arthritis is kicking my you-know-what, you need to take over. So, yeah, I love playing the accordion.
Drew can play a little accordion, I hear.
I did the chicken dance once. I did the chicken dance once, I think. I did. That was in my peak Weird Al listening era.
Weird Al is a national treasure, and we need to protect him at all costs. I love his music, especially the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota.
Oh, of course, the hometown pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hits a little too close to home for me, man. Because I don't think people realize, like, my entire upbringing. Like, I listened to like Green Day, American Idiot, that album, and then like
good album.
Every single album from Weird Al.
Yeah.
And including like the tapes, because like my mom had the tapes and everything like that.
Every song, old stuff is new stuff.
Yeah, like
White Nerdy's a favorite for me. Yeah.
Absolutely, but that was it. Like so, people see my like attitude and like how I act and my goofiness. Like it was probably just because like that's all I listened to like growing up. It's like I don't even know the real songs. I only know the parodies.
Everyone is capable of wackiness, but the thing that people don't bring up when they talk about people that are unique and special and weird is that it takes courage to have everyone look at you and think, what a weirdo, and be able to say, yeah, I'm into that. It takes stones. It takes stones. I want to meet Weird Al before I die. I'm pretty sure he'll outlive me. I play accordion on stilts for crying out loud, but if he ever sees this, I don't know if he ever watches anything. But I want to meet you, man. You've been a big inspiration for me, and I'm sure for Drew as well.
That's right, man. We were front row when I was in 6th grade, like at the state fair, and like we saw like him do like an interview before he did like the stage show, like he always does.
That's beautiful.
And he turned his back on us, man. So if I see him, I'm gonna be like, no, it would be an honor. He is a national treasure.
That's a big part of it to me, because I never thought I had any talent until I went full time at this. When I started to get 25 plus gigs a month, that was like the first time I was like, is everyone else like crazy? Because I don't think I'm worth the $400, $500, $600 check, but every now and then you get gigs and it's like, man alive, maybe I should start believing in myself, because a lot of people do.
True.
And yeah, a lady bought my plane ticket to go to the music college, so it's kind of weird. Now that when people meet me now, they assume I've always been a cocky jerk who believes in himself, but the truth is I never once have, and if I didn't have my wonderful friend group and a wonderful community and a handful of good family members that give a rip about me, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
It's amazing, man. Because whenever I talk to my parents, whenever I talk to my grandma, like you're just so notorious around the range. You're a community leader and a pillar up there. There's not many people up there, so there's got to be somebody, Steve. But I hear what you're doing through the Knights Call. But Rick, get in here, man. Oh my God.
2 sips is a gulp.
All right, we'll get a double Rick in here. That was not you, Rick. Yeah, I'm talking about my brother.
What's up with that?
All right, Rick, seeing how you're here.
Name Rick?
Yeah. Rick, he's your brother.
Yeah, see, there he is.
See, now I know why.
Double Rick. Rick, you want to sit on the podcast?
Speed demons too. It's so awesome.
We gotta.
I love you guys.
We gotta
both
have
got
it.
that same hockey hairdo. Yeah, doing
Yeah,
it
that's
on our
right.
mic. Yeah.
Here you go. You can have
We
mine.
got a Drew, Rick, and a Steve. Now we need a mic.
No. You take mine.
This one? Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, the Systems brother. He goes by
Sipala brothers.
he goes by Ricky.
Strong. There's some strong sisu on
We
this
already-
table right now.
That's true, man.
There's
That's
enough
true.
things They call this the ocean.
Now, I just got done with some Rock of Ages mini golf. All right.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Let me tell you.
How
All
is it?
right. You can definitely see some stains. You know what I'm saying?
You see some stains?
Black
Did you
lid,
see
the whole thing.
Did you see Pika's graffiti in there?
Oh, I saw some graffiti. That's for sure.
Ah.
A lot of.
I want to check that out. Mini golf. I love that.
Yeah, they got too many golf places in here,
You hear
man.
they're opening one in Virginia. Green's on 14.
Really?
That's
know
what
you-
they need. We were just talking. Do they got any bowling alleys up there anymore?
I believe, yeah.
They're all gone.
Really?
Plaza is gone, but they still got the gardens, yeah.
That's good. That's
Oh my
good.
gosh. Well, you gotta catch me. You gotta catch me. You gotta catch us up, Steve, because you know what's new in the Iron Range? What does the Iron Range need? Is it still
Man.
iron ore and trees and mine pits? Of course it is. What else does it
These
need?
are- yeah, I'd say the majority of people are tied to the iron ore industry. Forestry's big. I hate to say it, but we need a lot more art.
Yeah.
And I won't lie to you. The fact that I'm doing as well as I am makes me sad because I've had like 2 or 3 gigs this year because an older accordionist passed away, so they need me to fill in for that event that he usually does. So it kind of breaks my heart. But
We always hear from our dad that you're running events with Tucker at Kalava. Is that right?
Yeah, the Kalava Hall. I'm a member there. I'm a dues-paying member. No, I think
So
they
you're
call me
saying
the-
you're a knight?
I'm a Kalava Knight. I'm the
Oh.
second.
Ooh.
I'm the second brother.
We're not knights.
No, not us.
That is.
Aren't
but-
you members at large?
At large.
Yeah, members. You're still members. Yes.
We'll show up for a luncheon here and there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, that's
We'll buy
what's
some
common.
coffee. We'll buy some coffee. Yeah.
Nobody will ever be upset at a ranger for leaving. If you have something big and promising in your life, go. I have a good deal on rent right now, so I'd prefer to drive 4 hours than to go and live in the hustle and the bustle of the big old city. Yeah, the suuri kaupunki. But I love to be here, though.
Of course, man.
Yeah.
I've been looking at that Iron Range real estate lately.
Yeah, it's incredible. 'Cause, yeah, there's a lot of. Yeah, I've seen the list of towns or houses they gotta bulldoze down, but they're putting them up too. There's new ones all the
true.
time, and yeah, the community's not dying.
Yeah, let me tell you, I was just up there. I saw the fountain in Alcott Park. Last time I was up there, I wasn't there.
That's
Have you
beautiful.
jumped in yet?
I think it's a city ordinance that you're not.
You're giving up his music video ideas, man.
Are you kidding? Yeah. No, I love that place. Yeah, it's one of the top 4 places to bring a girl on a date on the Iron Range.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's
I would-
Underground
I wouldn't know.
Mine's another one. Taking a gal down there before.
Let me tell you,
Paddleboarding,
the
yeah,
views
jumping,
in northern
By the way-
Minnesota, can't beat it.
By the way, before I forget, I really do want to give a shout out to Matt Jarva on your Flying Fins DVD.
Matti Jarva.
That's
He's
right.
my guy. We've made 5 seasons together.
Beautiful.
He was one of my favorite advisors at
One of the best
Mesabi Range
percussionists
College.
and musicians I've ever met. The guy you just tell him heavy metal, classic rock, polka, and he knows exactly what to do on that drum set. That man is a gift wired directly from the Lord himself, and I love that brother. Veli veli swarming istava.
And also Random Guy on your album.
Shout out to Dale. He let me
shout out
borrow
to
his
Random
schedule
Guy.
for my album cover. Yeah. Take a. This is my new. This is only a year old. And
Oh my goodness gracious!
I'm a weird.
I never
goose.
knew you could dunk. Check that out.
Yeah, we still got to get your stilts gimmick in before we let you
Yeah, I
leave
might
today.
Need help getting up on there.
I think, Steve, you and
Just
I
don't
once,
fall off level
battled
3.
it.
Yeah.
Back in the day, basketball.
No, we already did the story. I already told them the story.
Oh man. I'd sing the
All right,
anthem
Rick.
and then I'd go
All right.
beat up their best player.
All right, Rick. Before you tank this entire interview, I'm so
Yes.
tired of Rick like tanking interviews
Oh,
on this
man.
show. I think it's a
You're a
first name
blessing.
thing.
We gotta
Rick's,
shout out
we gotta
Cecil
stay
Solar.
together.
So to keep to give the high level on this kid, he just graduated engineering at the University of Minnesota. Also Finnish.
Yep.
The
One
system's
and
brother.
only brother.
And
We share the same blood.
gonna try and
And
start your
hairdo.
own solar company, eh?
Yeah,
Sisu Solar.
I need one of
Finlander
these, man.
pride.
Yeah, good.
Right here.
Sisu Solar.
Yeah, good.
Anybody out there
Good luck.
looking for some solar panels
Good luck
on
with
their
that.
house,
If you need installation, you hit him up.
SisuSolar.com.
Mr.
I will
Sipela.
be your man, all right? And you'll get a great financial return, trust me.
Isn't Onea good luck? But isn't that also happy birthday?
www.sisusolar.com. Yeah, Polyononea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like much luck. They say
But it's
like
also good happy birthday, isn't it?
Yeah, well, when they sing it, they say Polyononea, which is like much luck or like a lot of luck to you.
Good luck with the next one.
Hyvä syntymäpäivä is happy birthday. Too many syllables to put in the birthday song. Hyvä syntymäpäivä luosana. Can't do it.
Ketos for having me on this interview, brother,
Yo.
all right?
Say what am
I'm
I?
going to
Yeah,
go
well,
out and explore the rest of this mall. It's pretty big, so.
Yes.
All right,
Great
well,
to see you,
cool.
Ricky. Good luck with everything. And
You know,
I'll
all
be
right,
hitting
we got-
you up. We got to promote you. We'll do some type of event. man.
Absolutely.
All right,
Am I
well-
famous now?
We'll give you a speech at a show. I'd love for you to be
All
a
right.
guest speaker.
One Rick out, another Rick in.
We are no strangers to love. Rick roll him.
Switch 'em out.
There it is.
I'm a little shorter than he is.
I'm
How
gonna-
about the temper?
Well, we're not gonna go there.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave the temper alone.
all right, Rick. Now you see what the system can bring in artist-wise. You gonna let me book more shows? Now that you see the talent that the system's bringing in here.
And you can send them to me. I'll take care of the yes or no's, okay? Okay. Yeah.
All right.
He's got connections. Does he really?
He's incredible. His personality is just, it's asinine how good it is.
That's right, baby.
You know, you might not know this, but I've been a fan of you for years.
Oh, really?
And I'm not just sucking up to you
Humble.
because I'm on your podcast. I want you to know this dude's incredible. You've got to check out the system. I got to get a t-shirt after this.
That's right.
I've been a supporter of you since the first time I saw you dyed your hair and became blonde like the cool kids.
Hey, man, it was always blonde. Don't let them know.
Fins are weird because when they're kids, you got to
Actually,
wake them
that's
with a hat because
true.
their
You
hair's
know,
so
you're
blonde.
exposing the truth of this situation here. This color was like me up until like first grade, and then,
Yeah.
and then it turned.
Yeah, mine
Sorry.
was, when I used to play video games all day in junior high school, mine was brown for a while. But yeah, when I got in the sun, it's got lighter again. So now I don't play video games much anymore. So
I would think, being from the Iron Range, that it would be more like a rusty red.
rusty red, yeah.
Rusty red.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had some iron ore stained clothing when we would run cross country over in the mine pits and stuff, but
Yeah, I got some family up that way, man, and we went up there and
they're
I
tough
was gonna,
people,
I was
yeah.
gonna take a shower and then turn the water on. I went, I don't need a shower that bad.
The water had red tint?
Oh man, it was terrible.
Yeah, most of the water is better than that. You must have had a rough part of town, yeah.
Yeah, it was out in the country a little bit, but yeah. Forget about it. Forget about it.
So with the Iron Range, I'm thinking about what you just said with, it needs more art. And I think about like with what I've experienced as a pro wrestler. I've traveled to a ton of small towns in Minnesota. I've had the blessing of being able to do that. And I'm sure you've played your share of small towns too, Rick.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a ton of courage that I would see as being the first hurdle to that, because whenever I do a show in a small town, like that's the one thing to do that night. People will know quickly, like if you're putting a target on your back.
Energy and
Yeah.
So like, is that when you're saying the area needs more art? Are we looking for more performance, more things to do than just hang out at the bar, hang out in the
keep
parking
in
lot and
mind,
smoke, or like you
filter
just?
my biases. I'm an artist. When I say the Iron Range needs more art, I mean the world needs more art. I see it a lot in the schools, especially with the your little boys. If they want to sing, if they want to do dance or something, there's a lot of, I don't know if that's good for you, but yeah, listen to me if there's any youngsters listening to this, no matter where you're from. Art is the most masculine thing you can do. Women go nuts over it, but also it enhances your life as well as the people around you. So if you want to dance, get up and dance. If you want to sing, friggin' sing. If people don't like you, that's why God gave you a certain finger in the middle to share with them. That's what I say. When you're an artist in a rural area, you have a lot of people that say, when you're getting a real job, when are you going to, come join us at, the whatever job it is. And even
the
though...
chicken processing plant.
Yeah, even though I am a good worker, I could have any job I wanted without a degree, whether anything without an engineering degree. Chasing your passion is something that's priceless. I'm very lucky that I make a living at it, and I do all right. But I won't lie, as much as I love where I am from, it's important to accept all of our artists, especially when they're new. They shouldn't have to go get a degree across the country in order to feel like they deserve respect. And for the most part, I get respected by an overwhelming majority of the people I meet, but there's always sticks in the mud, and rural people can be a little bit narrow-minded. Whatever story you hear first, it's your story, and there's always more to it.
You mean a little rule-minded?
Rule-minded?
Rural-minded.
Yeah,
Well, it's
they can be
true.
a little rule-minded.
They always told me, Steve, someday you're going to sing to more than just your cows. And I was like, well, I don't know. The cows seem to really appreciate it.
They're good listeners.
They really are. And for true, they come to you. If you're singing from your porch or with the accordion, the cows come right up there.
You know that's where the blues all started from. Mississippi blues all started
On the farm?
From the
on
cows.
the farm. On the farm. Back before they had plows. And they called it pulling the mule.
Yeah.
Right? Pulling the mule.
Yeah.
And they'd get that mule out there, they'd strap the plow up to him.
Yeah.
And they'd start singing. As long as they were singing, that mule would pull.
For real?
And they'd stop singing, that mule would stop pulling.
That's incredible.
And that's where singing the blues all comes from. It's about singing to the mule so they can get the plows, the fields plowed so they can plant the cotton.
That's honestly incredible. It's stories like that that make me love what I do.
And that's the truth. And I learned that from an old blues guy down there in Mississippi named Joe.
Man.
And he was talking to my guitar player, and he says, yeah, that's where the blues come from, man, pulling the mule. And my guitar player, he did not understand a word he was saying. I and another guy, we were in the front seat, we were just laughing. And finally he says, I'm sorry, Joe, but I'm really not understanding what you're saying. Joe's like 90, 85,
He's got a
He's
thick
an old
accent,
guy.
I suppose.
Real thick southern accent.
I love
man.
meeting the southern guys, because,
He says, yeah, that's where
they
the blues
tell
come
me
from,
I got
pulling
an
the mule."
accent. Oh, man, I think everybody got an accent, but ours is the coolest.
Oh, yeah.
Even coming
Oh,
down
yeah,
to
don't you know?
coming
don't
down
you
to
know?
the cities, the accent is so much thinner. I always hung out with the old Finns growing
Thinner,
up,
eh?
so I got a little bit. Let's do a lot of Bobby Arrow. So Yeah, I've always had a little bit of an accent. But the friends of mine that spent a lot of time online growing up, their accent ain't too severe. Mine is.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yep,
The
that's
most beautiful things in music are kind of like that.
Yeah.
Animals don't speak our language, so they can only tell you what they're feeling through their actions.
Yep.
When cows come from all the way across the field to listen to you play, I've got a cat, my neighbor's cat. When I play the piano, I have the window open. She comes, sits right in the windowsill, listens to me play piano. The dogs too, some of them are scared of the accordion, but they like the music from a distance. And I think personally, people my age, we're all push, 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 go, 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 and we're all so busy. But when you get them at the end of the day, that's when you see the most beauty, the appreciation. Going to nursing homes and singing old Finnish songs those gals haven't heard since they were little girls back in the 20s and 30s, that's beautiful. Playing at a daycare and just seeing how kids go nuts over the accordion and stuff, that's what makes it worth living. That's what makes falling asleep at the wheel, driving to Detroit and back in a weekend. That's what taking all the heat from all the people that think you're weird and don't like you. That's what makes it all worth it.
Car naps do hit different when you're the one driving.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. You get a list of some people together, okay? Hit some of them little bars and clubs up there around, and let's set up a show.
I would love that. I
Let's
gotta
set
get
up a
down
show.
here much. I think
No,
I'll
we'll
play.
go up there.
Oh, you come up? Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
we'll go
always
up there.
welcome. Come to
We'll
sauna
do
night.
it. Yeah, we'll do a sauna. We can do a sauna special.
Sauna soiree.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll come up there, man. I mean,
I would love that. You're always
if we
honored. I got guest rooms.
If we can work it out and make it right, you'll probably bring a couple bands with me.
Yeah.
We're gonna
My
make
band
him wear
and a couple
clothes
more.
though.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wear clothes.
Anyway, Steve, it's an honor to share this moment with you, brother. What I do want to know is what is next for Steven Solkela going forward in your music career, or even just what's your mind on when you think
I got my
think towards the
calendar
future?
somewhere. I've been booked a lot. I've got the TikTok and the YouTube and all that stuff. Solkela, SOLKELA, in case you're interested. TikTok, YouTube. I do good stuff. I'm proud of it, but I've been neglecting it a little bit. I had so many live gigs this summer. After the mask mandate was lifted, it was like my career came back overnight.
Right.
My will to live came back overnight, man. I had 240 gigs canceled from that virus, so to fill that shell up again. I used the shell of myself. Don't mean to get emotional. I don't tend to do that, but it's just incredible to be here, to see people. Because I love people. I love BSing with people. I love telling jokes, even just doing weird stuff.
I'd
out
argue
the way.
cows are better though.
Well, cows can't shake your hand or give you a hug. But then humans don't
Not with
make
that
good
mentality.
companions on the dinner table, though. So.
I agree though. I agree. It's well, we're made to
Yeah.
get. We're made to be nomads. Get out there and
Yeah, but what's
Get out
next
that
for
line.
Steve? I'm hoping to get famous. I quit sugarcoating it after the mask mandate. I said, you know what? I used to be humble. I didn't get no gigs.
Why? Why do you want to be famous,
The
Steve?
truth is, I got a lot of good I want to do in the world. It'd be a hell of a lot easier to do if I had $1 million and a little bit of a following and stuff. I think about it all the time because, I meet a couple famous people and I don't ever fawn over them. I don't want them to be uncomfortable. But I think of certain musicians that I want to be like. Weird Al, I've heard so many great stories of his humility and his community involvement. Dolly Parton single-handedly chopped up her graduation rate by saying, all right, $500 at 7th grade or whatever, you pick a buddy, and if you both graduate, you both get $500. Accountability system. There's things like that, plus I want to be like Dolly. I want to be like Weird Al. I want to be like Bobby Arrow. I want to be like people that...
You're gonna be Steve, and that's final.
Wow. That's the thing. I can't mimic anybody. It's always been important to me to be a good person if you can be. Even if you're exhausted, even if you're upset about something, you serve a role as a performer, and that is enhancing the lives of those around you. And I take my comedy very seriously. And I hope to
Indubitably.
make a positive impact on this world. Because if I don't do that, what's the point? You know, I've ridden in a limo, I've ridden in a helicopter. As cool as it would be to own my own, like I've done it before. The things I
You
haven't
just
done.
need it for the content.
I need it
Come
for the
on.
YouTube content. Oh yeah, the real deal is that the things I want to do in this life are free to do, but it takes a little bit to get a following, and there's a lot of things I want to fix. I know I'll never fix a lot of those things. If I could put a dent in it, a lot of the music I write is pretty simple on the face value, but it's always got a deep undertone of seriousness to it. I've written a lot of songs about suicide prevention and alcoholism and a lot of rehabilitation. And just because someone's an addict doesn't mean they're a drag on society. Everyone's capable of helping in some way. And, you know, even me, a pretty straight-edge person, people will count me out and think I'm a waste of space, and I'm valuable. You are valuable. Everybody in here, everybody in this damn mall, you can do something good with your life. Make that decision over and over again until it's a habit. And even then, you're still going to have moral dilemmas in your life. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Tell the truth as often as you can. And if you hear something you don't like, find out to make sure it's a true story. Never assume something. Human beings are trash talkers by nature, but they very rarely like to tell the truth. As a Finn, we have a saying, "Suomalainen on aina rehellinen." A Finn is always honest. And
No need.
it's important. Do better, be better every day that you live. That's a Lutheran saying, but it's simple.
All right, I'm gonna get out of the way, man. Hey,
No,
take
hey,
it
we're
easy,
gonna.
brother. We'll
Yeah,
talk,
we gotta.
we'll talk more.
Yeah, we gotta get you on stilts, brother. We gotta wrap this up before.
right,
but again, it's a pleasure having you. Second most notorious name on the Iron Range right now, outside your boy, obviously. But yeah,
system.
that's right. But before we leave, any billboard, anything you can spit out, just general advice for an artist watching right now, coming
General
up.
advice. Even if
Outside of
you're-
just do it, because we get a lot of just do it.
even if
How do you
you're-
just do it?
Yeah. Even if you're married, you are still alone when you lie next to her in bed. You need to believe in yourself at the core of your mentality and your personality. Even though validation is such a necessary thing that every human being requires in some way or another, if you can get some of that validation from yourself or what you do, like I second-guessed my career for a long time until I saw the smiles. Being at the mall, you get a lot of traffic looking at the cymbal helmet and the accordion, and just knowing that I might have made their day a tad better. If that's all I can do to a complete stranger, that's worth it. Make that difference if you can. Just do it. It's really not that tough. It's not an easy living, I will not lie. There's been many times I figured it was the end, figured I'd have to quit, or figured that my living will is finally going to come in handy. But it doesn't mean that you can't do what you want to do with your life. Just make sure that what you want to do is good. You don't want to be on your deathbed and say, yeah, I took no chances. You don't want to say, yeah, I took advantage of a lot of people. Do better and be better every day you live. Be yourself. Don't let your life go to waste. Only one person can do it, and that's you, good or bad.
Fire. Kitos, Steve.
Make
And
it
everybody,
Matavar.
trust the system. We'll see you next time.